Boom. Keep them coming.
What's going on, everyone? Bobbybarks here, and welcome back to my FM23 Journeyman series here on YouTube. This is part 12, and we're about to move clubs. Just before I go, before we finish up, just to close off what happened in episode 11. Now, obviously, we won the North American Champions League with Monterrey. That's 2 Champions Leagues to our name now, so the North American Champions League and the Asian Champions League. So really, it's time for us not only to find a new club, but find a new club on a new continent. But where are we going to go? Europe? Maybe. South America? Seemed a hot favourite there in the comment section of the previous video. But no, neither of those. Because we're going to go to South Africa. We're taking over Orlando Pirates, the team that finished 3rd in the South African Premier Division last season. They were looking for a new manager. Sundowns, which is also in South Africa in the Premier Division, were also looking for a new manager, and they actually approached me. I had a job interview with Sundowns as well as Orlando Pirates, but Orlando was the team I wanted to go to out of the 2 of them. So we're leaving North America and we're going to South Africa. This is the team we are inheriting here. It's not the best. It needs some work doing to it. There is some decent players and there is some players with some high potential, but it's a bit light and there's not a lot to work with in terms of finances either. So it's going to be tricky, but they did finish 3rd last season. However, it was by a considerable distance. They lost 11 games out of the 30 and finished way behind Kaizer Chiefs in 2nd, who finished way behind Supersport in 1st. So it's going to be a tough ask, I think. Ironically, looking at that league table, Cape Town City actually approached me earlier in the season when I was managing Monterrey. So South Africa seemed like the place that wanted Bobbybarks to go manage. 3 clubs wanted me, but I've opted to go with Orlando Pirates. I would have liked Kaizer Chiefs. I'm a Yorkshireman. Kaizer Chiefs are from Yorkshire, and they're a big South African club that had players depart to go play for Leeds United, which isn't my favourite team, but a team quite close to my heart as it's my dad's favourite team, and I worked in Leeds for the best part of 20 years, so I have a bit of a soft spot for Leeds and Leeds United, and Lucas Radebe and Philippe Masinga, I think it was, came from Kaizer Chiefs to play for Leeds United back in the, I think it was like early 2000s, 90s, something like that. So yeah, I would have liked to have gone to the Kaizer Chiefs, but I'm at Orlando Pirates, and the Kaizer Chiefs are our fiercest rivals, so I will never ever admit to that on camera. The staffing is actually not bad. They've got the best staffing in a number of areas already, so I think a couple of tweaks there and that will be good. Scouting obviously needs some improvement. I tend to rely on the scouts a little bit, just for like scouting reports, so I'll go what I normally do. So when I get obviously going in this save, I'll look through all the teams in the South African Premier Division and I will look at their key players and their hot prospects, and I'll send the scouts to scout them out and see what sort of scout report comes back. I'll also look at the South African national team and its youth teams, like the under-21s, under-19s, depending on what age groups that they have, and I'll look at all those players, I'll scout all those players, and just see if we can find people with decent ability or decent potential that can come in and improve this team. In terms of transfers, we've got 2.3 million to work with. Wage budget available is only 30,000, just a little bit less. And we've got an overall balance in the bank of 2.8 million. So they're giving us a fair chunk of that to try and spend, but it's not a lot. We're going to have to be very, very smart in the transfer business. And looking at the team sorted by value, we don't have high value players. The top one there, which is Aaron Madenzela, 400 to 800,000. Looks like he's going to be a good player, decent ability, decent potential, an important player, and only 19, deep lane playmaker, probably going to be a star for us as we move into the next season, but some work to do in the off season before we get there. Implement as tactic, implement as training, improve the squad, fingers crossed. Let's see how we go. Okay, we're about to start the season, but it's time to show you through some of the transfers that we've done. So from this player down are the people that we've signed. Let's have a look at them individually. Samkelo Sidhibi. That's a typical Yorkshire name, that, isn't it? Sidhibi. Sidhi. He's going to come in centre-back. He's gone into the reserves to start with, 19 years old, but he's got decent potential. I think he's going to be more of a player in Season 2, but I've signed him now, and hopefully he'll develop in the reserves this season with a view to coming in next season. Tebogo Mashego, goalkeeper. He's probably going to be my starting goalkeeper. He's only 2-star on the coach summary, but he has a potential to be 5-star. He looks pretty good. His physicals are not the best, but he is only 19. Hopefully those will improve with the game time that he gets, but he's going to be my number 1 goalkeeper. Cabello Moego, Moagi, Cabello Moagi. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. He's a real person. He's not a new gen. So I do apologise, Cabello, if I'm butchering your name. But yeah, centre midfield, 29 years old, but he's got some very, very good stats. Passing of 15. That's the type of player I want in my centre midfield. He'll be a decent player for us, I'm sure. Definitely improve on what we had. Asenale Banani. Sorry if I butchered that name again. You are a real person, and only 26 years old, so he must be very young at the start of this game. Considering we're like 10 seasons in or something. You know, he's going to be a good player for us. He's going to make some assists and some goals from those winged areas that we like to use. He's got good dribbling, good technique, decent pace, decent acceleration and agility, the type of winger that I like. He's also got 11 caps and 2 goals for his country, so very, very good player for us. And then as we moved into the new season, we've signed another 2 players, both from Sundowns, ironically, the other team that I nearly went to, but Sundowns did have some good young players. So I've taken these 2 for a combined fee of 750,000. Let's take a quick look at them. Nkosi is a winger, attacking midfield left, can also play centre mid. 28 years old, real player again, but definitely one that's going to improve our squad for the forthcoming season. Very good player. And Domingos Muchanga, centre back. I love a good centre back. 3-star, potential to be 5-star, 19 years old, 14 caps for Mozambique already. He is going to be wonderful for us. What a good signing he's going to be. Brilliant, brilliant player, and he's only going to get better. We didn't let many players go, £29,000 worth of players leaving, so we've spent the majority of the money. We've not got a lot left to continue improving this squad. But this is it now, sorted by ability, and it's better than what it was. It's filled out a little bit. We've got a bigger squad now, which is going to help. What I didn't realise in South Africa until I look at the schedule is just how many games we've got. Not league games, we only play 30 league games, but there's about 4 or 5 different cups. And we're in the Confederations Cup for Africa, which is not the Champions League. It's a bit like the Europa League again, I think. So it's the next one down. I think we should have a good chance of winning some of these cups, and I think we've improved the squad from what it was last season that finished 3rd, but it's going to be a tough ask to chase down Kaiser Chiefs and Super Sport. There is a couple of other decent teams as well in here. Sundowns were a decent team, but we've snaffled some of their decent players. Stellenbosch are usually a decent team as well. So we'll see how we go. We'll jump forward to the halfway point and see what's happened. I'm not going to lie, it's been very easy. Very easy. yeah, I've never been in a game and thought we were going to lose, to be honest. We've drawn the one, which was at home to Swallows FC. Stop it. But yeah, I mean, as goal difference is 17 plus on Kaiser Chiefs. We're 8 points clear. We haven't lost a game. Yeah, we've been comfortably the best team in this division by far. Some of the signings that we've made have been fantastic. Mawagi has got the best average rating in the league. So yeah, I've been really pleased with how things have gone. It's I don't want to say a walk in the park because things might change, but yeah, every game has been really comfortable. So just looking from the start then, the friendlies, we didn't lose a friendly. We had that 2-2 draw with Marumo Gallants, I think it is. Yeah, whatever. And then we won all the others. And then, as I say, in the league, this was probably one of his closest games. They're not a bad side, Royal AM. Obviously, we drew 2-2 with Swallows right after beating Kaiser Chiefs, which was a bit disappointing. I think the team must have thought, yeah, we've beaten Kaiser Chiefs, so we can take it steady against everyone else, and then got brought back down to earth a little bit with that. But, like I say, it's just... I know there's a few games here where we've only won by 1 goal, but in those games we've been absolutely dominant. Yeah, like this one, I mean, they scored 2 late goals in that. We were 3-0 up, 10-12 minutes to go, so... Yeah, the league's been easy, but there's an abundance of cups to play. So we'll start with the Confederations Cup, which is the Continental Cup. It's like the Europa League, it's not the same standards as the Champions League, so Supersport, who won the South African Premier League, are the only team that goes and plays in that, I think. We finished 3rd, so we're playing in the next competition down, which is this Confederations Cup. So we've had to play some preliminary rounds, first rounds, second rounds, and now we've got into the group stages where we're playing a load of other teams that I've never heard of. Wydad Casablanca is an amazing name for a football team. So yeah, these teams that I played against I'd never heard of. I did panic a little bit with that one when we drew 2-2, but then we had a comfortable 5-0 home win. So yeah, pretty comfortable going into the group stages. Given I've never heard of these teams, I'm confident we'll go through, but you never know. I don't know what this cup competition is, but it finished fairly early, first part of the season. We beat Black Leopards, we beat Cape Town City, Stellenbosch, and then Kaiser Chiefs. We absolutely thumped them in the final 5-0, which was magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. They are our bitter rivals, apparently, fierce rivals. These are all teams in our division, so I'm thinking it was just like a divisional cup. But I have absolutely no idea. But we won it anyway, so bit of silverware, why not? We also won the Super 8 Cup, which is another cup competition that takes part right at the start of the season, finished in October. And again, we played the Kaiser Chiefs in the final, who we beat 3-2. They did have a man sent off early doors, which helped, but it was still a tighter affair than I expected. However, we won, so that's 2 cup competitions we've won. I don't know what the Be the Coach competition is, but we won it anyway, and we beat the Kaiser Chiefs in that too. It was 1 round, 1 game against our fiercest rivals. No idea what it is. If anyone's watching from South Africa, maybe you can tell me. But we've played the Kaiser Chiefs again, beat them again in that. So whether... To start with, I'm thinking it was like a Charity Shield, Community Shield type game, but Supersport won the league. Us or Kaiser Chiefs didn't win the league, so how we played against each other, I don't know. But yeah, Peprat scored a hat-trick in that. I'll come on to him in a bit. He's an absolute beast. So, 3 cups, is that? So this is the squad sorted by average rating, and as I said to you earlier, Pepra, 28 goals in 22 games. Wonderful striker, absolutely wonderful, dominating at this standard in this league. Matros, who was the player who was best ability-wise, potential-wise in the team when we first took over, he's got 22 assists in 24 games. Unbelievable player he is as well. And then Cabello Mawagi, which I think 12 assists, 6 goals in 23 games. He's the centre midfielder that we signed. He's been fantastic. Reputla on the right wing, 9 goals and 6 assists as well. He's been wonderful. Can't fault the boys at all. Everyone's played really well. Team's playing really well. Can we replicate it in the second half of the season? Now, as we're playing the second half of the season, this happened. And I have to say, if I was playing this as a normal save, I'd have taken this. And I think in real life, I think the manager of Orlando Pirates would jump at the chance at a major European club in a major league. Marseille are near the relegation zone, they're battling relegation in Ligue 1 of France, which is why they're desperate for somebody with proven success by the looks of it. So if we were 12 months on, if I'd have had a full season at Orlando Pirates, I'd have taken this. There is the opportunity to take this job at the end of the season, so I can agree the contract now with a view to starting at the end of the season, but I'm always conscious about doing that on this game because sometimes you end up leaving before you've finished. And that infuriates me, and everything that you've worked for you kind of lose out on, so there might be a game left or a final left to play or something like that, and then you've got to leave because that's the date that you've agreed. And it infuriates me, does that, because no manager would ever leave 2 days, 3 days before a cup final, unless you're Tottenham Hotspur and you're sacking Jose Mourinho. But no manager would willingly leave just before a cup final. Maybe it's probably happened in real life, but you wouldn't do it, would you? I wouldn't do it. Chance of winning silverware, you wouldn't just walk away and go somewhere else. But I mean, this would have been massive. I would have loved to have gone and manage Marseille, and I kind of hope like a Marseille or a Monaco or something like that comes up again for us. Ironically, Fiorentina from Italian Serie A asked me for a job interview as well, but I turned that down. But again, that was the type of club I'd like to manage, like Fiorentina, Marseille, not the biggest of clubs in their divisions, but reputable European clubs like fallen giants you can try and resurrect. I'd have loved to have done something with one of those, but it's too early. I need to at least have one full season with Orlando Pirates. Don't I? Do I? Oh.